Welcome back to Santagato Studios. Today, me and Frankie are revisiting a video series we did a long time ago. We haven't done it in years, over 5 years.
Five years and a combined 60 pounds.
Right. But this is Whiskey Talks, so we have some questions and stuff that we're gonna ask each other. In the past, we've just kind of like had some whiskey and just kind of talked, but that sort of turned into the podcast. So now we're revisiting this video. You know, we have some questions and some whiskey. The first one is this. Evan Williams. Never heard of this before in my life.
I've heard of it. I don't think it is known as like a whiskey. You know, like it's a whiskey.
It says since 1783, back with your boy Alexander Hamilton. That's what his days.
That was his days. Was he around over then? Yeah. I think. When did he die? This guy was shot.
18 something.
He was shot in Jersey. Imagine the last thing you saw was Jersey. It'd be beautiful.
Do you want to pour yours or you want to pour mine? I think let's pour each other.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you just a little bit like that.
A little.
And then pour me.
I got you.
Give me
a little bottle. Cheers and steers. I should stop, right?
Yep. Mama's home.
God.
So here's the deal.
Sorry, I didn't expect that to fucking hit me.
For this Whiskey Talks, we're actually going to have a lot of fun because the whiskeys are going to get more and more expensive. So theoretically, they should be getting better.
They probably will.
And the questions are going to get deeper.
Oh, fuck. We're going deep? I'm the whiskey guy here. You're not a big whiskey guy.
I like whiskey.
I know you like it, but I'm saying I
don't drink it all the time.
I think I've had more whiskey.
It sounds like you have. Here we go. First one.
All right.
If our younger selves could roast us today, what would they say?
Oh, mine would probably call me gay. They'd find anything to make fun of me for.
Yeah. It's like you're growing your hair out now.
Yeah. Oh, you have long hair. That was apparently gay.
Also, any of my clothes being fitting at all.
Yep.
That would have been a red flag. I'd be like, I'm not wearing that.
Like if you weren't wearing anything branded like Echo or South Pole, your younger self.
Or XL.
Or yeah, well, sizing matters, obviously.
Right.
You would have absolutely tore yourself apart. Do you think like they would be proud of us? Would they be like, you guys are stupid,
but good job.
Good job.
Yeah.
I'd get called fat.
You think that your younger self would call you now fat?
My younger self.
Like, yo, you fat pig.
Fat ass.
Who is this fat soul?
You'd be like, you don't drink beer anymore?
Yeah.
You a loser?
Yeah, you drink dick now? Is that what you switched to?
What's the dumbest, I think I know your answer. What's the dumbest argument we've had?
You think you know my answer?
Yeah, I would say I think I know your answer. When like someone called you their best friend in like second grade.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, what the fuck is this?
I think there's an argument that we still have. It's an ongoing argument that we still have in our lives because I personally feel that you're just not being truthful. It's when I pushed you off the slide and you pretended to not know who you were. Let me just explain.
No, let me fucking explain. Of course you're gonna say that it didn't happen because you were the person that pushed me, you fucking criminal.
Fat ass. Me and Frankie are playing tag or something. We're maybe like, what, 4th grade? He gets to the top of the slide. I push him off the slide. I got excited. People were pushed. Things happen. He hits the ground, but mind you, the ground isn't a hard ground. It's a playground ground, which is a rubber ground.
It was a rubber ground.
So he hits his head, allegedly, right? I get down there, and he pops up, and he goes, who am I? Right? And he goes, who am I? Where am I? And and I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, what are you saying, Frank? He's like, yo, I don't know who I am or whatever. And then there was these Korean jacks.
Yeah.
And they were called kungis. And he had them in his pocket. And he went to his pocket and he pulled them out. And he's like, whose kungis are these? And I was like, bro, I'm literally going to tell your mom that you're like fucking with you. And I went to his mom and I told him, I was like, yo, you better fix your son because he's like saying that he's a racist.
You definitely didn't say that.
I'm paraphrasing.
Hey, Nance, fix your son.
And I still to this day just think that he was just committing.
Yeah.
You're already committing to the lie.
I was not committing. It's so convenient.
Admit that
the person that pushed me off the slide, that's a defense mechanism. You're trying to feel better for yourself. You're trying to feel better like, I didn't give him a concussion. No way I did that. Listen.
I gave you a concussion. Big whoop. Who gets a concussion and goes, who's these little games? I don't know who these are.
I believe confusion and memory loss is part of concussions.
I've had a concussion with some memory loss. I was never going, I don't, who
Bro,
am I? Jason Bourne?
You could, I wish I'm Jason Bourne, okay? I think
Can I fight?
you can believe whatever you want. The reality is the reality. The truth is the truth.
Yeah, you're goddamn right it is. You fucking piece of shit. You fucking fat ass. Let's do it, round 2.
Round dose. All right, next up, we have Weller, the original weeded bourbon special reserve. I've never heard of this. Should I read the whole thing? 1825. That's long, baby. That's an old baby, baby.
A lot of babies.
We'll do the pours again?
Smell test?
This smells good.
Yeah?
Yeah, better than fucking Evan.
Hit me. Oh, did you hear the sound she's making?
I love that.
Whoa! I gotta pour you.
Oh, sorry. I almost went bad luck. What's that for? What is it? What drink again?
Japan?
Japan. Listen, I'm not one into ASMR.
I love that.
The sound of something going into a cup with ice.
You know what else I like? I like the sound of the ice.
I do like that. That's good. That's smooth. Oh yeah, you're just like the ocean.
Turned him into Matthew McConaughey.
I'm not moved, just as seen as the emotion that I brought you. You gotta love it, it'll be so smooth, yeah. Give me your heart and make it real.
Oh, they'll forget about it. Okay, let's not forget the questions are getting deeper.
Do I get deep first?
Good Lord.
Too much. Do you think we've grown more alike or more different as we've gotten older?
That Evan Williams is smacking the teeth of the boys.
I'm missionary. That Evan Williams is just fucking going, dude.
What was the question?
Have you ever been missionary?
What?
Like,
have I been on my back getting rammed? Is that what you're asking?
No. So do you think as we've gotten older, we've grown more alike or more different?
I think that we've probably gotten more different, but we live very different lives. When we were younger, we had things in common, but I think it's because like we could only do like 5 things.
Yeah, I think now we have more not in common,
right?
Because we have added parts of our lives that are individual to ourselves.
Yeah, and also like you had hobbies that you had friends that you would go do shit with.
Yeah.
And then I also had that as well.
Who, bitch? Sorry.
Dennis.
See, that was yep. And then as we've gotten older, you know, I have fucking kids and I've moved into another state now. So like, yeah, along with that comes differences that are, you know, you can relate to, you can't relate to, you know, and vice versa.
I don't think that's like a bad thing.
No, I don't think no one's saying that's a bad thing.
No one's saying it. Who's saying that?
Who said that?
Who said?
Who did it?
Which one of you fat asses said that? The libs can take the rest of them, but I'm keeping that one. You know what I mean?
Which ones?
What?
Whom?
I don't know.
Yep.
You know what? You know what I think? I think that we've grown more different, but we're closer than we were for a period of time there.
We've grown more different, but not more distant. Oh,
put that on a shirt. A bunch of white women would put that in their kitchen.
Put that quote and say, "This fat ass."
All right, here we go. If the Basement Yard and Santagato Studios were to end tomorrow, what would you do?
Oh boy. I've never thought about that. I think if you were to ask me like 3-4 years ago, I would say like I'd freak out. But I think we're in a place right now where like I wouldn't be as like erratic and like holy fuck, holy shit. You know, I'd just be like, all right, everything's okay. I'll figure it out. I'm trying to become like an individual in this space, you know, and like maybe like explore like opportunities like hosting or maybe acting or maybe stand-up. I don't know. To be honest, I haven't really put myself in that mindset to think about that yet.
It used to freak you out?
Yeah, dude. And like, it's weird because like it should probably freak me out now more because I have fucking kids and mouths to feed and a mortgage and shit like that. But like, I don't know. Like Becca has such a way of like just fucking chilling me out. So like, I think I'd be all right. What about you?
If it were to end?
If it were tomorrow, just to like go the way of the dodo.
Is that an expression? I don't know.
Hell yeah, it is now, bitch.
I feel like I would probably take like 2 years to really give it a shot at something that's still sort of comedy based. And if that is just not working out and You know, it's just for the sake of like people are just tired of seeing my face or like don't want that type of shit anymore, and like I don't know how to do anything else. Then I would try to do something. I don't even know. Like I would try to do something more like, okay, let's think of like a company or some sort of project,
like investment or like
or something like that.
What's the word I'm looking for? There's a word I'm looking for here.
Is it fat ass?
Cheers.
Not how you do that at all. All right, before we get to our third bottle, we do have a sponsor, and that is Bonobos. And if you're looking at the both of us, we're like, wow, they're dressed so good. That's because we are dripped down in complete Bonobos.
Absolutely. And listen, if you want something this summer to redo your wardrobe and kind of look like you actually tried, Bonobos is the answer, baby, with their new linen line, which is lightweight, breathable, and, I mean, come on.
We had the pleasure of shooting for their summer linen collection. We were out there in Joshua Tree in the middle of the desert. It was actually kind of cold, but that's besides the point. But the clothes are amazing.
The weather was cold, but the boys were hot.
We're hot.
We're hot models now.
We're hot models
okay?
now.
Don't even worry about anything else this summer. Bonobos is the clothes that you want.
Also, you can get some chinos like the ones Frank is wearing right now. Look at that leg straight up in the air. We can't promise that you'll be as flexible as he is, but we can promise that you look as good as he is. But probably not as good. I got you, buddy.
Damn, baby, it's right. And listen, there's a bundle deal available for you now. The chinos, the original chinos, the chinos 2.0, and the lightweight chinos are going to be available on Bonobos' website for you to go gander at, and maybe you'll look at as good as us. You know what
Snag 2 pairs, you'll get 20% off. Snag 3 or more pairs, you're getting 25% off. So go shop at bonobos.com if you want to look as good as us. All right, for our third bottle, we have Johnny Walker Blue Label. Okay, this is blended Scotch whiskey, not to be confused with Black Label, which tastes like you're chewing on a cigarette.
Have you ever had this before?
I don't know if I've had Blue Label before, to be honest. I probably have.
I've had it. It's good. It's good. It's blended, so it's going to be a little smoother. Yeah, suck that up.
She's a stinky hooker.
Suck that up.
Yeah. You want how many? What do you want?
One finger. I'm starting to...
You want one finger, dude?
Finger me once. One finger from Johnny.
Jesus.
Is that
lady? Crazy.
All right, so these are supposed to be deeper questions.
It's getting even deeper now.
Deeper?
Now we're in the deep depths of the Marianas Trench.
Rolling in the deep. We sing too much. Do we sing too much?
Oh, she stinks.
She's stinky.
This feels like I ate a car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like the road.
Yeah. Okay.
It tastes like a car accident.
All right, why don't you fucking do it, bitch?
Oof. What fear still holds you back in some way, and how do you deal with it?
Oh, fuck.
Dude, we're at fucking Johnny Blue.
Fucking here.
Yeah.
We're fucking right here. I think the fear of rejection and the fear of failure, and like that's why I haven't really like tried like more stuff in the arts, like whether it be like acting or stand up or something like that. Like I really believe, for me at least, I work better when I'm playing off of you because of how much fucking history we have in our chemistry. So like the idea of doing something and going out and being my own fucking person is very difficult for me, and that's like I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like if I were to do like solo stand up, I would have to figure out what would work, and that process to me is like a fucking daunting task because I just don't feel like I'm good at being an individual in that setting. You know, like when we go up there during the shows, I don't have that fear. Because I'm like, oh, well, fucking, you said it before our very first show. I remember before, maybe like a couple days before, or a week before, I was talking to you. I was like, what are we? And you were like, dude, at the end of the day, like, we have each other up there. And I was just like, oh, yeah, that's right. And like, I have the confidence in our abilities, not even necessarily comedic abilities, but like abilities to just riff that like we can kind of fucking catch each other. And it would be only apparent to us, like, no one else would see that. So I think the idea of having no net in that regard is fucking scary for me, you know?
So, but you're thinking that holds you back, though?
I do. I think it's one of the things that held me back. You know this, and I don't think anyone... I mean, I think I've probably shared it with you guys, but like I tried open mic stand-up before, and I just felt like, one, I didn't do it enough, and two, when I was doing it, I didn't feel like I was doing well because of that rejection. Like I was like, oh fuck, this is not very good.
Do you think that you have more confidence now that you've been on stage doing live shows and like you're crafting bits and you're kind of doing that on stage too? So like, is there more of a confidence now of like, oh, you know what? This is just like a fear of mine. I'm holding myself back. I'm going to take the leap.
The confidence that I have now, I've gotten from you, from, you know, like the support pieces of my life. You, Becca, the team that we've put together, and the people that come to see us. So the idea of having to get that confidence, like starting from the ground up, is something that's kind of scary to me, you know? And like, maybe that's a reason why I should do it, you know, to like overcome that. But like, maybe I don't, you know?
Yeah.
This is getting there, huh? This is getting there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. All right, Joey.
Out loud, you're supposed to.
Yeah, I know that. What's a belief that you used to hold on to strongly that you no longer believe?
When I was younger, I thought I could do everything myself. I think that's probably, I felt so strongly about that to the point where I was just like very arrogant to not to like people, but like anyone who was like in the industry or who would be like my competition, people who are like, don't know they're in competition with me, but I was very arrogant with like, I don't need these people. I can do everything myself. I don't need help. I can edit everything. I can do this and blah, blah, blah. And that's just not true. So I think that like now sitting in this studio and being able to like have a place like this with things built and whatever, like, I think you're able to get to a next level without a team of people who can help you. And also like, you don't know everything. I still to this day think that I have really good intuition and my gut is like the most important thing to me. And I try to follow that as much as possible. But even that is not enough to be able to like actually get things done. Like you need people, you need to trust people. You need to like give people certain jobs and allow them to kind of put their spin on it. And maybe everything doesn't look exactly the way that you would want to do it, but everything is better for it. Because if everything is like what I want it to be, then maybe everything like looks the same and feels the same and it's like just boring. I was teaching myself how to use Photoshop for a while and I would take these like online courses and stuff like that just to get an idea of like what's involved so that I can figure out that like I can't do this. I'm not good at this. Then I can delegate. That's kind of like
how much time did you waste doing that?
You have no idea.
Was there ever a moment when you thought like you kind of like were like, oh fuck, I've stretched myself too thin?
You know what's actually funny about the question you're asking is that at a point in my life where I was doing less than half of the shit that I'm doing now, I felt like I was getting some burnout and felt like, all right, I need to slow down and like reorganize. But I think it was just, you're just disorganized. You know, you're just not doing things efficiently. Things could be so much easier. Like the way that I would edit something, there's a way easier way to do it, but I don't know how to do it. So I do it the long way and waste all this time because I refuse to delegate to someone who knows how to fucking do it. But I think that the answer to the question is like, I think that at a certain point I thought I could do everything myself and everything would be fine, but I don't think that's true anymore.
Can I smoke a cigar in here?
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Oh, hey, you know, we're under a vent, you know, just like fucking like. All right, last bottle.
Last but not least. All right, for our last bottle, we have old Rip Van Winkle, a bottle of Pappy that I brought from my house. I've spent way too much money on this. As you can see, I've had some of it, but...
What's with all the W's? Why are we W'd up? Evan Williams, Weller, Walker, Winkle. What the hell? What is whiskey?
What the fuck? That's a W too.
Whiskey! What's going on? This is like $100 bottle.
Yeah. It was $1,000. She's stinky?
You stinky little babe. Yeah. Fuck. That'll call down to Omaha Beach and say, send the troops up. You know what I'm saying? Let's just take a moment to think about the beauty of life. Where we've been, where we are.
And where we're going.
The past is history. The future is a mystery. But today is a gift. That's why we call it the present.
All right. This guy has some
Kung
whiskey.
Fu Panda. That's right, baby.
That's from Kung Fu Panda?
Yeah, baby.
We're at the deepest. This is deep. Now we're at the deepest.
We're at the deepest. We're at the Marianas Trench of talks.
Yeah. What do you think is the hardest truth about yourself that you've had to accept?
Ooh.
You're not 6'3".
You're right. I'm 6'7".
There it is.
I would say probably that, like, I'm not, like, maybe as likable as I like to think I am.
What?
Is that tough? Yeah,
You
maybe.
actually feel that way?
Sometimes, yeah.
That you're not as likable as you think you are?
Yeah. I think I have an issue with being a burden.
Do you think you've been a burden to people?
At times, you know, and like it's my perspective because a burden is subjective, you know,
Yeah.
like, but like at times where I've had like health issues, let's use that as an example. Like there's been someone taking care of me. So like a part of me is always just like fucking handle it, figure it out yourself so you're not a burden for somebody else. I've always thought I'm a pretty likable person and I've had to realize that like maybe you're not, and there are people that just don't, for whatever reason, like vibe with my personality. And like, in turn, that has made me have to like dial it back sometimes and like give certain people like a certain part of my personality that other people don't get and stuff like that. So like, I think that's a weird thing, you know, and then I'll leave it and just be like, oh, fuck, I'll overthink the situation. Like, did I say something that was off base? Did I, you know, do something to upset them or something like that? So like, this Pappy's getting there, baby. Let me tell you. There have been times where we've made jokes on the podcast where I've called you and be like, hey, should we take that out? You know, like I don't want to come off as this or that or whatever. But at the end of the day, like I know that I can't, not that I can control anyone's thoughts on me, but like the internet, like there are so many fucking people and they can see things out of context. They're going to make up their own mind. I don't really care about that. It's more the people that I care for. I do think of those interactions like.
And you're like, fuck, did I fuck that up?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I feel like I gave the wrong answer, and now I'm going to get fired.
Oh, I see. You're doing it now.
This is what
It makes sense
you
now.
See that? You got it? It was the only one that picked up on that. Greg went, what? And Mikey went, all right, here we go. What do you want your legacy to be?
Legacy. I don't know that I care about a legacy in the sense of like a selfish legacy of like I want myself to be viewed like this for years to come. Like that feels weird to say. I care a lot about the story about everything that we're doing. You know, like I like to keep things in-house. I try to give opportunities to people, and you know, I think that for the people who work here, they've taken an opportunity and turned it into their own, and they're professionals. That's kind of all I want is for it to be viewed in that way, as like it can be this thing that you can create on your own, and you can just trust people to do a good job, and you don't have to like, maybe you do, I don't know. I mean, I think that I got lucky with knowing people and you know, there were certain people that I feel like I saw something in, and then they ended up, you know, rising to the occasion, even, you know, beyond expectations. So, like, I think that's possible. You can do stuff like that.
I think you're very self-reflective. I can't wait for you to have kids because that question is going to take on, I think, a different, not an entirely different meaning, but like once you have children, your perspective will in some ways change, but I'm interested to see like what happens with that.
I think like your children are obviously like your legacy and your own, like these are the people that you're leaving behind. And like, if I could build something that like my children are interested in and want to interact with or whatever, and they're great people, like obviously that is like a given that you want your children to be great.
You know what's crazy? One day, someone will say your name for the last time.
What the fuck is wrong with this kid?
Crazy?
People are going to say our names forever. No. Joe and Frank, dude.
I mean, in reference to you. Of course, when someone says Frank, it's not going to be like a ding. You know, like one day, it will be the last time that someone references Joe Santagato.
Why are you saying that?
I'm just thinking, that's crazy.
You're thinking about dying right now?
No, I'm not thinking about dying. I'm just saying, like, I've been watching a lot of Disney movies, and Coco comes up on the screen a couple times. You seen Coco?
I have.
Same thing. Your picture might not be on the ofrenda, You know what I'm saying? So like, you might just like in that when the last person forgets you.
This is what happens. You drink some drinks with Frank, and he talked about dying.
I'm not saying dying, dude.
You're like, yo, yeah, this is real cool and fun.
The question was about legacy. It's not like it was a question about like who fucking loves cotton candy.
Dude, this is such a good time and everything, but you know that one day you're never going to see anyone you love ever again.
I love cotton candy.
Well, there you have it, folks. That is a proper Whiskey Talks right there.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
I love
Maybe
you,
our
brother.
best one.
I agree. I love you.
This is a weird handshake.
I love you.
I love you too, Frank.
No, we have to. We
That
can't
was a
end-
strong.
No, we
What do you
can't
want?
end
What do you
on
want to
it.
do?
No, we need to end on
I
a
know
good
we
cup.
have to. We can't do it.
One
That's
more.
the thing. I'll cut my hand really hard.
That was
As bad as this is going to get.
I think so.
Thank you guys so much for watching Whiskey Talks. That is all. We'll see you guys next time.